is His
nature.
You know, we've been having so much fun. I feel like we can just say the grace and go home. You know, because the stress is gone. My topic is on, you know, the burdens that we carry. But I'm like, these ladies, right now, they're not carrying any burdens. They have already put them down. But I'll still go ahead and teach what God gave me to teach today. Before I say much about myself, I want to really give honor to whom honor is due. I want to thank Sister Charity for inviting me, Sister Rose, Pastor Eunice, and also the other women of God who are here tonight. I am grateful to be here. You all look so beautiful. Touch your neighbor and tell them you look gorgeous today.
You look gorgeous today. You look gorgeous today. Can you give it up?
You look really, really beautiful. And we really thank the people who created this space for us, because they created space for women to breathe. You know, sometimes we are so busy, but this is a space where we can take a breath. We can really breathe. I am a mom of 2 girls. I have an 18-year-old and I have a 21-year-old. So I'm pretty close to being an empty nester. I'm about to join that club. And as a mom of teens, those who have been moms, I know what it feels like to have a smile on the outside and we are holding so much on the inside. Because that's what a lot of times we do. So my topic today is the woman behind the smile. I know we've been having a lot of fun today. I know we've laid the burdens down, but we're going to talk about the woman behind the smile. Proverbs 14:13 says, even in laughter, the heart may ache. So I know we've had a lot of fun, but it's a little bit of a serious topic, but just follow me a little bit. So looking around this room, you all look so beautiful. You're dressed up, smiling. But I also know one thing. We are carrying burdens. The woman we are talking about is a woman who is carrying burdens. You know, when I look around the room, we look peaceful, highly favored. We are wearing our blessed and highly favored face, right? But we are carrying some things that maybe we've never even told anybody. We are tired. We are still, but we are still giving. I think the lady, our leader who was leading here tonight said, a woman is a doctor, a woman is a caregiver, a woman is, what else do we do? The chef, what else? Natural. We carry a lot. We carry a lot every single day. So when something goes wrong, who do they call? Mother. When someone is traveling, who do they call? They call mom. When someone needs money, mom. Exactly. You know, I like to think about motherhood as we are the customer service center, open 24 hours. You know those call centers, open 24 hours? A mother is like a call center. A woman is like a call center, open 24 hours. Sometimes the one holding everyone else has no one holding her. Sometimes we call it strength, and it is strength, but sometimes it's exhaustion. So I've been a counselor for the last 16 years, about 16 years. I know I don't look that old, but about 16 years I've been doing this job. Before then I was doing a different career. And when I switched jobs, I actually thought, it's just another job, you know, go work, make money. And when I started seeing clients, I noticed this is not a job. This is different. This is a ministry. And you know the way sometimes we pray to God to show us our purpose. Sometimes your purpose is right in front of you. A lot of you are in healthcare. It's not a job, it is a ministry. A lot of you work with people. It is not a job, it is a ministry. And so I discovered it is a ministry because my purpose in life is to bring comfort, hear the pain of others, and bring comfort and healing. I hear a lot of stories behind the smile. The story of a woman whose marriage is falling apart. A mother whose child is making the wrong choices. And even a pastor who starts strong on Sunday, but then on Monday, guess what is going through their hand? Does God hear me? Those stories are heavy. And one thing I've learned is pain does not always look like pain. We may not notice it. Right? We know that, right? Pain does not always look like pain. So we juggle a lot. So some of us are here, we've worked a whole day, a whole shift, maybe two. And when you walk through the door after work, the question that comes up a lot is, Mom, what's for dinner? How many of you hear that question at least once a week? Mom, what's for dinner? I hear that at least once a week. And I still trying to figure it out myself. I don't even know what is going to be for dinner. Sometimes you drive home and you're so exhausted. You get in the garage, you turn off the ignition, and you sit quietly for 10 minutes. Even before you, is that true? Yes, even before you walk inside, because you just need a moment. I do that too. You know, sometimes I have a whole day of clients. I've been talking, I come home, and I'm like, if I get home, I'm gonna start talking again. I just need a minute. And sometimes you just sit in, it might be in your car, just for 10 minutes, just to have a moment. That is what sometimes we go through. So, this is an honest moment right now. Raise your hand if you have looked for your phone when you are talking on it. Look around, see? I've done that too. Keep those hands up.
When is in your pocket?
Raise your hand if you look for your glasses and you're wearing them. Okay, very common. Worse even, raise your hand if you've gone to bed with your glasses on. Oh, we have one. Actually, my husband has done both of those things. He's looking for his glasses and he's wearing them. At that time, he climbs to bed and he has his glasses on and he's like, oh, I have my glasses. It's like he's trying to see his dreams well because he's going to bed with his glasses. How many have boiled an empty pot? You put your pot on the stove, you walk away, you come back, it's still empty because you just boiled air. Because sometimes we are so distracted. I have good news for you though. That is not memory loss. That is mental overload. You're not losing your memory. There's a running joke in my house that my tea doesn't cook until it spills over. Because it happens all the time. So I know this firsthand. It is not just theoretical. Last year, my 18-year-old, not 18, my oldest who is in college, was going through a rough patch. And who do they call when they're going through a rough patch? Mom. And it starts way early. Think about kids when they fall. Who do they run to?
Mom.
Mom. They need mom. And so my daughter was going through a rough time in college, and she wanted her mom. And so I packed. She's 8 hours away. I flew all the way to Michigan. And it was a busy time for me because I was seeing clients all day, actually from my hotel room. And then I would take a break and go see her for about a couple of hours. Then maybe come back and see clients for about another couple of hours. And it was exhausting. To make matters worse, in the evening, my dear husband, sent me a picture of what he made for dinner that night. It was so bad, he could not even eat it himself. It was a mix, I couldn't even tell what it was. It was a mixture between stew and porridge and ugali. And this is what he had done. You know, sometimes men think they can do what we do, right? A lot of times they can't. So they can cook, but they think they can duplicate. It's not gonna taste as good as what we make. So he had seen me making stew, and when I make stew, we add sometimes cornstarch, right? To make it, cornstarch or flour to make it a little bit solid. And so he decided to do the same, and he added a whole cup of cornstarch. And so it became solid. I think we ended up at McDonald's that night. And I remember thinking, I am needed in every direction, as a mother, as a wife, and as a counselor. And then someone meets me and asks me, how are you doing? What do we say, ladies? Louder, what do we say? I am fine. Yes. That is the official language of women. I have said it too. So sometimes I'm sitting across a client and I'm carrying a lot myself. And I am telling myself, I hope my smile is convincing today because I'm carrying a lot too. And then I remember, what I'm going through may be the very thing that is allowing me to connect with that client in front of me. And I'm just saying that to say this. Sometimes what you've been through is what allows you to help somebody else who has been through the same thing. The most powerful thing, and that's why we even do like support groups, the most powerful thing, and we are a support group right here, it doesn't have to be in a counseling office. The most powerful thing you can do is when somebody shares something with you they're going through, and you tell them, me too. They no longer feel alone in whatever they are going through. So, we are gonna do something fun. Let me have my volunteer. You know yourself? Volunteer? Give her a hand, give her a hand. She has helped me a lot before, so she knows it. All right, bear with me for a minute. Come over here. All right, so I want you to carry this. Put it on. Alright, you can stay right here. Okay, this is how it all starts. I hope I can do this and hold my microphone at the same time. Let me put it up here. This is how it all starts. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Turn around. Let them see the backpack. All the way. All right. So, family responsibilities, right? We are carrying that. We have work and financial pressure. We are carrying that. We have, this is good. What do you think this represents? Supporting family back home. Mm-hmm. So some of us are carrying two countries. We are supporting our families here, and we're supporting families back home. It is a burden that we carry. And a blessing also, because we are blessed. And then, being strong for everyone. The mom is a strong one. She's carrying that. And the worst of it all, even before we do that one, turn around. Can you turn around? Give us a smile. Okay. All right, turn around. All the way. The last one, it is unspoken worries. You know those things that wake you up at 2 a.m.? You're thinking? It's usually the heaviest. We also have things we don't always talk about because we hold them so dear, closer into our chest. And they are folded and they are tucked away. They're in there. We are carrying them. Thank you, sister. And you know what? We close it up. We're going to leave it open, but let's assume it's closed up. None of those things feel like too much by itself, right? But when it's all together, it is heavy. And you notice what? That smile doesn't change based on the weight. It's the same smile. Because we've learned to carry it so close. This is what gives us a smile. This is what the world sees. And guess what they don't see? Everything she's carrying. So, sister, just don't show them the backpack. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay. How are you really doing? I notice you've been quiet lately and you've kind of, I haven't heard from you in a week. How are you truly doing?
I think I'm fine.
Are you sure?
I think. I'm very sure, but I think I'm fine.
Okay. Take a minute and just listen. Notice how you're feeling. If you're carrying anything. How are you truly doing from the bottom of your heart?
Well, I may not be able to explain because sometimes life is so frustrating. Like now I have so many things going on.
Yeah. I want you to notice something. What did you notice? Let me ask you, what did you notice with that?
I'm trying to be brave.
She's trying to be brave, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to put on a strong face. She's tired,
Frustrated.
but she's putting on a strong face. So, let me help you. Come on, sister. I'm just gonna help her and just take one thing. I may not even take out the heaviest. I'm just gonna help her with that.
Oh, thank you very much, my sister.
You're welcome. Sometimes the difference between feeling alone and feeling supported is someone willing to ask the second question. How are you really doing? The first question, it's a greeting. How are you doing? You're fine. But slow way down. Ask the second question. How are you really doing? Mention what you've observed. I noticed you seem a little low this week. I noticed I haven't heard from you. That is a support. And the difference sometimes is not how well you notice. Sometimes it's how they feel supported when they are noticed. So, I want you to try and take one thing out of that backpack. when he's still in the back. All right. Do you notice how hard that was? See, it's hard when you're carrying the burden, to really help yourself. And that is where a friend or a sister comes in. You don't need someone to take it off your shoulders. You just need someone to help you carry it, even if it's just taking one thing off. One other thing I'm gonna mention is, don't be someone who adds things to someone's backpack. All right, so ladies, what are some ways we add things to people's backpacks? Give me examples.
Our problems.
Say that again.
Our problems.
Our problems. Putting them down. Talking about them, right? So be careful not to be someone who adds things to people's backpacks. We want to help them carry them. So thank you, sister. That's it. And because you volunteered, I'm going to give you a gift. It's a book that I really like. It is Self-Love, a workbook for women. Release self-doubt, build self-compassion, and embrace who you are. Thank you. You're welcome. Give her a round of applause. She'll be good. So, recently, I really experienced that firsthand. Someone noticing. My youngest, as I mentioned, is 18. She's finishing high school. So we've been doing a lot of college tours. And last week, actually just last week, we were flying to North Carolina to do a college tour because she's trying to decide where to go. And as soon as the plane took off, turbulence hit. And I don't like turbulence. It was so strong, the plane was shaking, my hands were sweating, my heart was going fast. The pilot comes on and says, we are going through some rough air, but we should be okay, we'll get through it pretty soon. That did not comfort me because I knew if we go down, we are going down, including that pilot. I was sitting between my daughter and my husband. My husband was on my right, my daughter was on my left. She looked at me and she said, Mom, do you need a needle? I don't know if I brought that with me. You know what that is, right? I don't have it with me. Do you need a needle? It's like a fidget toy. And I said, yeah. And she was ready. Sometimes I just have to prepare. So she dug into her book bag and gave me the needle is something new. It's like a Play-Doh, just a fidget toy. And I started playing with it, and I actually felt better because I got distracted and I was just playing with this thing. And I realized sometimes the most powerful act of love is not what you say. She didn't say, oh, you'll be all right. Don't be scared. She just noticed that her mom was in distress. The most powerful act of love is not what you say. It is how gently you notice. Because grace sees what the eyes often miss. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes the most powerful act of love is not what you say. It is how gently you notice. Because grace sees what the eyes often miss. And I love the idea of this dinner because we can slow down and notice. Sometimes it's just noticing how another sister is doing. Sometimes it's noticing. If you don't slow down, you miss it. It's noticing, my child is going through a rough patch, because they're not going to tell you, right? You have to slow down and notice it. Sometimes you have to notice my spouse is stressed. Because if you don't notice, you're going to bring up a very difficult topic when they're stressed. And that's how problems start, right? You notice they're stressed. Oh, this is not the best time to bring up this topic. Slowing down and then noticing. Some of the things in this backpack, God never asked us to carry. What are some things we carry that God never asked us to carry? But we still carry them.
Hatred.
Ooh, she said hatred. What else? Worries. I didn't, my sister, what you said? Unforgiveness. God never asked us to carry that. Other people's expectations. Right? Responsibility for others. Sometimes, as a mom or dad, we carry the choices our kids make. It's not our responsibility. It's carrying our kids' choices. Sometimes it's guilt that God already forgave. And we don't need to carry that. Some of the things in that backpack, we pick them up in childhood. And this is my, this is what I do every day. Where did you, if someone comes in with a burden, where did you pick it up? Where did it come from? Sometimes we pick it up in childhood. So I'll give you, I wasn't keeping time. Let me know when my time is over. So let me share a story, a burden that I carry from childhood. So growing up, my dad used to get migraines all the time. He had a vehicle accident way back. He was in a motorbike and he crashed into a car. And so I have no memory of my dad walking with his own 2 feet without limping. He used to walk with a walking stick. But that's the only memory I have of him. And so because of that impact, he used to have really bad migraines, like pain all the time. And so he used to send us to go buy him almost every day, painkillers, almost every day. We were 9 of us. We are just 3 here, but we were 9 girls. And so every day he would call, it would be Agnes, or it would be Dinah, it would be me to go run and get him some medicine. And when he would send me, he noticed I came back really, really fast compared to everybody else. And so I noticed he started sending me more and more and more. And I liked it. And so I started running even faster because I loved when my dad said, wow, that was fast. Instead of 20 minutes, I would run and take 10 minutes like lightning. And I became the one who used to go get the medicine most of the time. Can you guess the burden I carry and how that shows up in my adulthood? Who can guess? Sorry? Not too slow. People pleasing. Because I was trying to get validation from my dad. And so I learned if I do really well or make someone happy. The other burden is I have a really hard time saying no. Because I was used to people pleasing. So women have a hard time saying no. Men don't. Sometimes we feel like we have to explain it, right? Someone calls you, they ask you to do something, you're like, no, let me check with someone. And then they check with absolutely no one and still come back and say yes. So we have a really hard time saying no. But men do not. And that's why sometimes our backpack is so full. One takeaway I want you to know is no is a complete sentence. You can say no and not even explain. Some other weight in that backpack we inherited. So growing up, who was busy in the kitchen? Cooking, cleaning, childcare. What did you notice? Who was that?
Mom.
That was mom. What was our fathers doing? Sleeping, taking naps, watching TV, right?
Reading newspaper.
Oh, reading magazines, the newspapers. Yeah. Feel like we all grew up with the same mom and dad.
Listening to daddy.
So, men are socialized to normalize self-care because they watched their dads. Their dads were not busy all the time, running around all the time. They would sit down and they would relax. Women, we are socialized to put others first because that's what we observed. So let me ask you an example. How many of you, your mom came home one day and said, today I'm not gonna eat dinner because I passed by the butcher, I had some nyama choma and some soup, and so I'm not gonna have dinner today. Anybody's mom did that? How about dads?
All the time.
Raise your hand if your dad did that.
All the time.
Yes. All of us. Your dad comes home, pass by the butcher with the other brothers, friends, soup, and then he might bring a quarter for everybody else. A quarter of meat for everybody else on the way home. Again, socialized. Self-care, men, self-care, women, everybody comes first. Something else we carry in that backpack is the voices in our head. What do they say? I'm not good enough. I'm not working hard enough. Those voices, they show up at 2 a.m. as if they have a microphone. And so sometimes you can't even sleep. One voice says, you're doing enough. Another voice says, just work harder. And so sometimes those voices can be loud. So I'm sure some of you are asking, what do we do with all this? I still have to go home and figure out dinner for tomorrow. Because knowing doesn't fix it. And one thing I realized is my job, even as a therapist, is not to fix any problems. Or if you're pastors counseling or you're talking to a sister, your job is not to fix. Your job is actually to help them survive it. Because only God can fix it. Prayer can fix it. But it's to help them survive it. There's a story in the Bible that keeps coming that I use as my guide, even in what I do every day. Mark 4. And this story is when Jesus told his disciples, let's get in the boat and go to the other side. Now, when they got to the boat, what happened? Storms, wind, waves. Jesus was sleeping. But remember, the promise had already been made. Let us go to the other side. But what did the disciples say? We're drowning. Actually, I was trying to look at different versions to see does a different version say something different. They were saying, we are going to die. We are going to drown. We are perishing. Notice it is, we are going to. So if I called someone and said, I'm going to the women's dinner, what does that mean? I'm truly going, right? If I say I might go to the women's dinner, it is 50-50. I might not. If I say I could go to the women's dinner, small chance. But the disciples were saying, we are going to die. Actually, they had already believed it. Not we could die, not we might die. We are going to die, or we are perishing, or we are drowning. But where was Jesus?
In the boat.
Asleep. You know, some theologians, there are different interpretations, but this is my interpretation. Jesus, when he woke up, he said, "O ye of little faith," and then he rebuked the wind. And the way I see that is, he did not rebuke them because they did not rebuke the wind. It's because they didn't trust the word he had already spoken. Because that word was assured, we are going to the other side. Whether the storms come, whether they don't come, we are going to the other side. And sometimes I also wonder, that water might not have been too much, because Jesus was still sleeping. So it's probably not a whole lot of water. Otherwise, he would have woken him up, right? But they were terrified. Storms come to everybody. Even Jesus, when he was in the boat. And the bad part, sometimes it's just storms. But we have a destination, there's a promise, we are going somewhere. When I read the Bible, the verse, "it came to pass," it's repeated so many times. I've never seen nowhere written "it came to stay." It came to pass, it came to pass. Even every single hurricane, storm that ever hit this planet, they have big names. Harvey, Katrina, to this day, they come to pass. They all come to pass. And our job is to hold on to the promise in the middle of the storm. Your assignment is to survive it. And this is a perfect example. Even when we come to an event like this, it's lowering our stress. And when we go back, our energy is renewed and we can survive it. So, years of counseling, I have come down to three things. It comes down to really three things. Name your storm. Name what you are carrying. What is it that you are carrying? We cannot heal what we cannot acknowledge. And we really have to normalize not being okay. It is okay not to be okay. Number two, share it. Don't carry it alone. Find one safe person. It can be a friend, it can be a pastor, it can be a counselor, it can be a mentor. Find one person to share it with. The amazing thing is, as I was thinking about, this topic, I realized that one of the last examples of Jesus to his disciples was asking someone to carry his cross. Asking someone to help him carry his cross. And so, be your sister's keeper. Share with somebody. The third one is release it and unpack it. Number one, stop carrying what God never gave you. The lighter your backpack, the further you can go. Release what does not belong to you. And so, when you slow down, you can really see some of the things that don't need to carry, and you can release those. Prayer is always where you start. So prayer is really important. It's always where you start. But sometimes God's answer to prayer is a trusted friend, a pastor, or even a counselor's office. That can be the answer to your prayer. So I'm going to close with this, and I'm going to read it so we can get it. Have you ever been strong for everyone, but felt like no one was strong for you?
Yes.
Have you ever carried something so heavy you didn't feel safe to talk about? Then hear this. The Bible is filled with women who carried something heavy and survived it. Hannah, she carried silent pain of barrenness for years until one day she was so tired of holding it in She finally let it out, and God saw her. The woman with the issue of blood carried pain silently for years. One moment of faith and action, keyword action, changed everything. The same God who saw them sees you. Nothing you are carrying is unseen by God. Proverbs 31:25. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without the fear of future. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. Strong women cry, and then they pray. You are seen. You are not alone. Your story is not over. Women of faith, your ending will be great. God bless you so much. And thank you. Now you can laugh and smile. You are too serious for this.